know him from the Smiley Morning Show. Now he's got his own show. Radio Theology is on ZPL. Here's Pub Pastor Daron.
It's about that time, my friends and neighbors. It's time for another episode of Radio Theology, guys. It's the 2020 edition. It's a new year. It's a new decade.
Exciting.
Everything is new.
Fresh slate.
Except us.
Yeah.
Same old cast.
That's right.
Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. So glad you guys are with us. We are your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And guys, man, I'm feeling fresh. I got a little, since we last talked, I've gotten a little older, year older.
Yeah.
We've got a brand new year ahead of us.
Yeah.
Brand new decade.
Can't believe it.
It is awesome. January 12th, 2020. And, I'm trying to stay healthy. So I went to the gym, Ryan.
Okay.
I've seen you there multiple times.
Yeah, buddy.
You're on it, buddy.
Come on, man.
I mean, I appreciate your dedication to your health.
And I appreciate yours.
So I was there trying to take care of some of the, maybe the let's just call it Christmas cheer.
Yeah.
That found its way into my midsection area.
Yeah.
Just trying to take care of some of that. And I saw something, Ryan.
What'd you see?
Well, from across, I was on the Stairmaster. I like the Stairmaster.
Yeah, mastering those stairs.
I was mastering them. Master of the stairs. And I saw from across the gym someone who it looked like they were ready to take fitness to a completely different level.
Yeah.
And the way I knew they were ready is because they were wearing workout gloves.
Man, what was this guy like?
Well, that's the thing, Ryan. It was Lisa.
We've got like a Lithuanian power lifter over here, and we didn't
right.
even know it.
She was chalking up over there
amazing.
Come on now.
with her weightlifting. But they were, I believe they are pink.
They are pink.
Weightlifting gloves.
All right.
They're feminine. They're feminine.
So, I mean, it's
unlike
just,
your deltoids.
Dang it. I'm going for tone, not bulk.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, tell us about these weightlifting, because I was on the Stairmaster. I saw you were walking towards me to say hello, and I was like, oh.
What's happening here?
The game has changed.
Yeah.
This is who I am now.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Lisa has workout gloves ready for the decade. Tell us about it.
Wow.
So I was talking my sister through. I'm like, we're going to Mexico in 3 months.
Okay.
So late March, I'm like, I want to get a bikini bod, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to, let me tell you what I'm already doing at the gym, because my sister's like a gym ninja.
All right.
And has no fear of the gym, whereas I have all the fear of the gym. And so she was like, oh, yeah, you need to do a lot better than that. And I was like, hit me. Tell me everything. So she gives me a new routine. But I'm like, but wait, that has me going on the scary side of the gym where all the free weights are and all the mirrors and the lunks. You know, the guys are like, and all they do is like...
They're called lunks?
Yes. They're called lunks. Big dudes with all the muscles, like they can't even move.
Ryan,
They just
I've heard the term hunks.
no,
Yeah.
they're called lunks.
Is this just in your world or our world too?
I'm going to look this up. I'm
Yep.
going to fact check you really quick.
All to
Lunk.
say, I've been scared of the lunky side of the gym, and
Okay.
I'm like, I don't think I can do it. I can't do it. She's like, just do it. And I'm
Okay.
like, I will do it. And so one morning, I just stepped across the line, and I was like, oh, it's not scary over here.
Yeah.
You know who else is over here? Like a 90-year-old woman
Yeah.
was killing the free weights, and I was
Yeah.
like, I can do this. But then all the free weights give you calluses. That's why I went on Amazon, got myself because I still do want to look and be feminine.
Gotcha.
I don't want the callousy hands, so
Yeah.
I got myself a pair of pink workout gloves.
Well, there you go.
So beware, people. This is just who I am now.
Ryan, do we have a fact check on lunks?
Yeah, according to Urban Dictionary, a lunk is a word made up by Planet Fitness used to describe one who grunts, drops weights, and judges. At Planet Fitness, there's a lunk alarm that will go off if they believe you to be a lunk.
See, there you
All right,
go.
I stand corrected.
All
Don't
right.
be a lunk.
Don't
and
be a
if
lunk.
you need a little courage, just get some pink workout gloves.
There you go.
We're here to help all decade long. It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Is there a secret recipe that will guarantee you have the best year ever? Coming in to January here, January 12th, 2020, new year, new decade.
Yep.
Is there a secret recipe?
I think so. I mean, selflessness, humility, generosity, love for your fellow man.
Ryan, I love that list. Lisa seems to think that celery juice and colon sweeps are the way to go. Let's figure it out. It's Radio
boy.
Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and let's hope not colon sweep. Lisa Graff, what in the world is a colon sweep?
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
So I got Facebooked It's just my adjective, verb, whatever that was.
Yeah.
It's fine. I bought my wife something off Facebook for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
A pair of boots. Evidently, I ordered them from Mars.
Oh,
because they
gosh.
haven't even shown up yet.
Oh,
so
yes.
I got Facebook with
Okay.
boots. So go ahead.
Yep. So I got Facebooked with 3-day cleanse, and I was like, that is such a jump start to your healthy eating. I'm like, that's what I
Okay.
need, because all I've had for the past month is sugar and alcohol.
Okay.
And I'm like, and so I bulked up a little, just Christmas cheer, like you said.
I love that phrase. I bulked up a little.
bulked up.
Bulked up a little bit.
Okay.
Put on some of the hibernation weight, and I was like, you know what? Let's jumpstart. Ryan, can we do a 3-day cleanse, a jumpstart? with
Ryan, your
some-
husband.
My husband, with
Okay.
some shakes and whatever.
Yeah.
So you get the shakes.
Get the shakes.
Are they great?
I choked down the first one.
What flavor was it?
It was chocolate.
All right,
Oh,
good start.
You think that would be
no
tasty?
big deal.
Yeah, not
Right,
bad.
it was.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, good enough, whatever. But then I had to bring to the office a fiber sweep.
Oh, fiber sweet.
And I was
said
like-
it wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh! Like, I'm scared to death of the fiber sweep.
Oh, gosh.
And when I mixed
I would
it,
be scared to death of what the post
oh right.
or the experience
Yeah.
of the fiber
Right.
sweep,
Yeah.
not just the drink.
How long are we sweeping? How fast do I have to get to the sweep?
Yeah.
All of these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just working away, and we're sweeping, and so, but doesn't matter. Didn't need to know, because
wow.
when I mixed it together, it looked and smelled like the powder that the janitor used to throw at elementary school. He used to
Oh, yeah.
toss on top
The
of
throw-up
the
powder?
Yeah.
throw-up powder.
he
Oh,
said-
dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, exactly, and I'm like, I don't know how bad my colon needs to be swept, but it's not this bad.
Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, music, and this conversation.
Such
Good
a great
Lord.
quote.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, can I bring some help
Oh,
to your
man.
life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to learn from your adventures.
Yeah.
Ryan, tell me if I'm wrong, because my mere memory, I am a little older.
Go ahead.
It is failing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like I remember maybe 12 months exactly
Yep.
from now
Yeah.
when Lisa was going to do shakes last year, but it was like some radioactive green celery garbage.
Was
Do you remember
Yeah,
this?
It was a celery juice cleanse.
Celery juice
I didn't-
every morning.
I didn't even know they made celery juice. I thought that was just called water. Apparently not.
No, I had to make my own celery juice.
and I
then-
remember you failed miserably 12 months ago.
I remember
Miserably. I
'cause
borrowed your juicer.
You borrowed the juicer.
Yes,
Yeah.
and guess what? I returned it like 3 days later, because guess what celery juice tastes like? Celery, which is something you need to chew. So when you put it in your mouth and you have to just
Drink it.
drink it. Thank you for the word.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Can't do it. I'm not a shake girl.
Okay.
Okay.
The lesson is, next year for 2021, I'm not doing shakes. I'm never doing shakes ever again. I don't need to be a shake girl.
Yeah.
Can someone please remind me?
Yeah.
Put an alert on your phone for
we
crying
need
out
to
loud.
ask Siri to help us remember.
I refuse to be a shake girl.
Okay.
So the moral of the story, I think, Ryan, is to know thyself. Isn't that a Shakespeare quote or something?
It is. Shakes. Here.
Well played.
There it
Well
is.
played, sir.
There it is.
Is there anything more terrifying than an absolute blank slate? Like absolute, you have freedom. Do whatever, create whatever. I don't think so. Let's
Agreed.
dig in. Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. Beautiful time to jump on social right now. Give us a like or a follow. We'll be with you every day this week. Guys, I know for myself when I've got a writing project, maybe I'm working on a new sermon or something.
Yep.
If it's just like, hey, talk about whatever you want, complete blank slate. For me, it's like I get frozen in that. There's like too much freedom.
Too much freedom.
Like I need some kind of direction. I could go anywhere. Which direction would I go? I don't know. Just spin around and get dizzy is what happens.
Yes, let me tell you mine. My worst one with a blank slate is when I have a meal that I can take to myself and I have the freedom and the time and the money to choose whatever restaurant I want.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, I get so amped that I cannot decide. But it's everything's food related for me. But
Well, I get that way sometimes. I always feel like it's going to be my last meal, which I'm not really a morbid guy, but I'm like, what if this is the last one? I don't know. Is it Taco Bell? Is it Wendy's?
Man.
I'm
KFC, baby, get
I'm
that
a high
bowl.
dollar guy. Ryan, what about you? You're a creative guy.
I don't disagree with you guys. I've
You
noticed for
disagree.
myself a different experience.
All right, hit us.
So
with it.
I like having a lot of different options. Like let's say for you it's writing a sermon, for me it'd be like writing a song.
Yeah.
I love wide open country of just possibilities. For me it's when I start throwing things against the wall and I see everything, I'm like, we got to whittle this down to something that works. That's for me when
editing down to it.
Yeah. The honing, the whittling, the editing.
Well, here's what we got. We got 12 months ahead of us.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I feel like a lot of people are feeling the pressure of, we got a whole new decade here.
Right.
Yeah.
And that feeling of, here's what happened to me. I just turned 42 a couple weeks ago, right after Christmas.
Yep.
And I had this realization that, like, I thought I would be better by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, in your brain, you're always like, well, by the time I'm 42, I'm going to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
I'm still barely holding on.
Yeah.
So here, maybe we're all feeling that stress of, like, we're staring down the barrel of a complete blank slate. Who knows? What are we going to create with this next 12 months? Is it just going to be the same old, you know, or is it going to be different? Are we going to have some goals we're going to accomplish? What is that stirring in us? Let's talk about it right here. Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And what do you guys think?
I'm struggling now because I don't have any major goals for 2020, and I'm struggling to feel like that's okay. Like, I'm going to maintain for a while, and I think that's going to be fine. But in my head, in my soul, I'm like, you should do more. You need to do more. Why? I don't need to do more. I can maintain. Maintaining is still doing plenty. Trust me.
Well, it makes me think a quote that I want to hit you guys with, and I'm going to sprinkle it throughout the rest of the show.
All right.
Got it from one of my favorite pastors, Erwin McManus, just out in Los Angeles. We had a vacation. I'll tell you about it later. Stick with us this morning. And he said, you can't plan for the life God has for you, but you can only prepare for it.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me say it again. You can't plan for the life God has for you. You can only prepare for it. And that was such a challenging thing, because I'm the same way with you, Lisa. I feel like I've got to have all these plans. We're on vacation. The new year happened. I don't have anything written down, whatever. And I'm like, where's the plan? And then to hear him say, like, listen, like, because you can't. How many times did you have a plan and it worked out perfectly? Not very often.
Right.
But what you're saying is this maintaining, what I know some of the things that you are working with right now, Lisa, is you're not just maintaining, you're actually preparing yourself to be the person that you actually want to be as you walk into the plans that God might have for you.
Right. That's true.
But I think for me, I don't know, Ryan, for you, for me to feel like I've got a bunch of plans makes me feel like I'm in control or something.
See, I'm gonna push back gently again. I'm kind of in a planning and preparing mode.
Oh, fine, Ryan. He's the opposite of everybody today. Opposite Ryan today. Okay, I want to hear your plan coming up next. Stay with us. Let's hear Ryan's great plan to make the year the greatest.
It's awesome.
Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. We're talking about this new year, new season ahead of us, right? And Lisa and I are trying to figure out, we in a planning season, a prepping season. We're a little more in the prep season.
Yeah.
Evidently, Ryan's Mr. Prepared. He's got a plan. Let's jump in here, Ryan. You got a Mr. Plan, right?
Yes, I do. And I'm in a praying mode as well. Like, I'm going to say, okay, I've got the plan that I would love to see happen, knowing that things are totally... in many ways out of my control completely. I've got agency in a lot of it, but God could throw me a curve that I didn't see that's actually the better plan for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited about 2020. I'm not saying I hear you guys not be excited about 2020.
But I heard you say, I have a plan.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I've got some goals.
And he feels good about his plan.
Well, and
I feel good
love
about
that.
my lack of plan.
And that's okay.
but
I think we can...
Either way.
Yeah.
But I think you don't have benchmark things you're saying.
Right.
But your plan right now is to maintain.
Yeah.
So that is a plan. It's not like you're going, I'm just blah, right?
Right.
Right.
You're not quitting.
No.
You're saying you
Or
don't have a
coasting.
That
bunch.
is true.
Yeah.
You're not quitting. You're just saying, I don't have a lot of specific things I'm checking off.
Right.
But the big specific thing right now is maintain the growth I've gotten.
Yes.
Which I think is a really good plan.
I think it's okay to coast in health.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, if you have to coast.
Yes. It's just hard. Being creative, then it makes me feel like, oh, you're going to lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
But I think it's the two sides of the coin. It's like, let's just say it's preparing and it's planning.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, Ryan, there's been a part for you where you have been preparing for this past year in a lot of ways.
Right.
And now you're at a place where it's, okay, now I'm going to put some of those tactical plan things together.
Yeah.
Lisa, your life, I can see that you did a lot of plans in 2019.
Yeah.
And what you realize is, you know what? I may have some more preparing I need to do about me
Yeah.
to make sure I'm ready for whatever is next.
Yes.
And I think the wisdom there is trying to discern, where are you at? Are you in a prep season, or are you in a plan season? The good news to know is this, is that God actually does have a plan for your life. And as the more and more you lean into how he's guiding and directing and loving you, that you're going to find yourself in the destination, in the season that you need to be in. And it looks like we got a call. Coop's on the line 1. What's up? Welcome to Radio Theology.
Hey, guys. What's up? It's Coop from Carmel. How you guys doing?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, you guys sound like way too optimistic for the year ahead.
Let me set this up. Coop, you are a life coach from Carmel. You've called in before. Very woke as far as your view on social justice and issues, and you feel like there's just too much hope for us right now? We have too much hope?
Way too much hope, dude. Like, pull up your phone. Like, look at Instagram right now. Like, Epstein didn't kill himself. Like, Hitler's in the White House. And Australia's on fire. Like, why are you guys as hopeful as you are?
You know what, Coop? You're right. There are a lot of challenges that we're facing right now, but I don't think maybe the answer is not necessarily like hopelessness.
Well, I mean, it's hopeless if you're a koala bear, dude. Like, have you looked at the koalas over in Australia right now?
Yeah.
And like, what are you guys going to do about it? You're like a Christian show. Like, you should totally be all about like the koala bears.
Coop, I saw a video this week about the koala bears, and I almost cried. I think it's terrible. We really do need to help the koalas. I totally agree.
Yeah, so like, what are you going to do?
I'm going to encourage people to listen to what you have to say, because you are bringing hope to the koalas by raising awareness, Coop.
That's right. Yeah, hope through woke, dude. Trademark Coop 2020, man.
You trademarked that, Coop?
Yeah, like right now. I just did. I called up LegalZoom. I was like, yo, hope through woke. Trademark it.
What is it again, Coop?
It's don't worry about it, man. You'll see it like everywhere. But listen, like, I don't know. I just hear like all this optimism. I'm like, I don't know, man. The world's kind of a scary place. You know, like the polar ice caps are melting and like Iran and like all this stuff. I was actually thinking about becoming like an Iranian citizen to like try to help things out over there. Hope through woke.
That could be a cool plan.
Will you call us when you get over there?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just look me up at like Koopaloop96 on all the socials. Hope through woke.
Hashtag woke. What was it again?
Hope through woke. Trademark Coop Industries 2020.
I like it, Coop. Thanks for the call, bud.
All right,
hey, ladies, it's a new year, and she's back. Woo! Oh, my goodness. Lisa Graft, back on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And Lisa, each week you hit us with some pieces that bring some peace to the soul. It's time for
Lisa's Pieces. Okay, so I thought I'm going to crush parenting, basically, in 2020.
Great.
This is one of the goals, right?
Yeah.
Let's get better at everything.
I got it.
Parenting needs to be on the list.
Okay.
And one of the days that it was unseasonably warm, I thought I'm going to take the kids. Josie's 5, Cal is 2.5, and I'm going to take them over to the school that's near our house. There's a playground and then a nature trail. So I'm like, they can get out some energy.
Great.
We can learn about birds or something. I don't know. And
family hikes.
Yeah.
all the things,
Sure.
right? And so as soon as we get over there, Cal poops in his diaper.
Okay.
And I'm like, we just got here.
Yeah.
We just got here. Did I bring a diaper and wipes? No, because we're so close to the house.
Sure.
He already pooped this morning. Like, how many times do you have to go?
Right.
You know, just anytime he does, he does. And so I'm like, you know what? We are here. We are doing this. I'm not going home.
Yeah.
You will sit in it until you complain.
Oh.
And then we'll go. You know, he slept in his poop for hours. What's 20 minutes at the playground?
Okay.
Right?
Great.
Judge if you want to. I don't even care.
I'm just saying, if I poop my pants at the playground, Ryan, it's a hard stop.
Especially on the swings or the slide.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Golly.
So, you know what? Then I'm like, he started complaining, but I'm
Okay.
like, I'm salvaging this. I am mother of the freaking year, and we're staying. We're
Okay.
staying here.
All right.
And so I'm like, you know what? There's a disinfectant wipe in my car. I'll take the diaper off, you know, gently but effectively cleanse the area, pull the pants back up. Like, he's almost 2.5. We're going to potty train soon. I'm like, whatever. He's
You wipe
fine.
him with a Clorox wipe?
With a Clorox wipe.
Okay.
So he's like super clean down there.
Okay.
But I'm like prepping him, buddy. Okay, if you have to go potty, you get to pee in the woods. It's so exciting.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to tell
Yeah.
mom so we can pull your pants down. Literally, I took one step,
Yeah.
looked back, pee all down his freaking leg. And I'm like, you are kidding me. What did I just say?
So he's not wearing a diaper. He's peeing down his leg.
Peeing down his leg.
I got you.
So then it's all wet, and he's like, I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
This is a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Let's go on the nature walk. I am not quitting. And so
We're going on this walk and
we
we're
are
going to enjoy it.
It's a 7-minute nature walk. Like,
Yeah.
what could have happened? Everything happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? So as I go, I'm like rolling up his pant leg. Maybe it won't bother him as much. I notice he's chafing to the point of almost bleeding.
See, that's rough.
From the pee rubbing on the jeans, rubbing on the leg.
It's a
and I
pretty
was like,
quick chafe.
That is a quick shave.
he's very
Yeah.
sensitive, very sensitive.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, oh my gosh, buddy, I'm so sorry. At that point, you think I would have wrapped it up.
Yeah,
No.
we're going home.
Pants off. Naked nature walk it is. So he went bottomless to the nature trail because I am doing this.
Wow.
I thought you said you wanted to get better at parenting in 2020.
Hey, no children were injured in the making of this memory.
He was
There's thorns
he
out
was
there.
bottomless,
there's
naked, walking on the nature walk.
rough
Yes.
bark. I mean, there's all sorts of hazards.
I didn't let
for
him
his-
get into any of the hazards.
for his twigs and berries.
The point being, this is what our year is going to be like. Bring all of your tenacity and your grit. Sometimes it's not going to be worth it, but sometimes it is, and you're going to have to leverage every bit of optimism. Do it, and you can do it. That's my whole point.
I like it. Optimism. It's a beautiful word. It's needed, especially if you're naked in the woods. This segment just keeps getting easier and easier because this world needs a ton of the mercy of God. Oh my gosh, these stories are ridiculous. It's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And this segment each and every week is called
Lord Have Mercy.
Lisa, kick it off.
Okay, you guys, there's a guy in Colorado
Okay.
who thought, I'm going to try to steal a car.
All right.
So, in his attempt, it was in the driveway of a home. The homeowner catches him, calls the cops. He flees. Cops show up 2 houses down. This bro is trying to steal their car.
Wow. Bold.
Just so bold.
If at first you don't succeed,
Yes.
steal again.
Wow.
That's right. Except when the cops caught up with him, obviously, he said, I was trying to steal this truck, but I don't think I'm very good at this. So they bring him to jail. Right. So they bring him to jail, and he gets out on bond. A week later, back at it.
Wow.
Trying again.
Come on.
So he's
because
already failed twice at stealing cars.
He doesn't want to be a
Third time, Rhino, is the charm.
totally the charm, except it wasn't because they caught him again red-handed, and he goes, you guys, I just suck at this.
I love the confession.
I know.
Listen, if you're going to be a thief, at least be a self-aware one.
There
that
you go.
might suck at stealing. Maybe a new career for him. It's going to be hard labor, I think, for a little bit. And as he's thinking about that, I'm sure he's going to say to himself, "Lord, have mercy." Ryan, what do you got, buddy?
We're going to Texas, guys, the Lone Star State. Over Christmas, a young man named Caden Parson, he's 12 years old, asks his mom and dad for a unique gift. He asks for a magnifying glass.
Must be a science kid.
Right, or they're thinking like, oh, he just wants to read things up close,
Sure.
wants to look at things, closely. Nope. Homeboy wants to light things on fire. Caden is a little pyro, all right, and he's got an older brother who's encouraging it. So they lost sight of their children for a while until they started to see smoke
Okay.
coming from their front yard.
No.
Caden lit the entire front yard of his family's home on fire. Christmas morning.
Christmas morning.
Ho, ho, ho. The yard's on fire.
So everyone's running out their Christmas jammies. They got the hose. They got blankets. They
Oh
got
my
buckets of
gosh.
water, everything. It was luckily put out. They did not have to call the fire department. The picture is hilarious. It's basically like scorched earth.
Yeah.
And his dad says that, he's going to have some extra chores that he's going to need to do to make up for this in the new year. But I'm sure when his dad heard, that the yard is on fire, he must have thought, Lord, have mercy.
I'm going to bring it home, guys. We're going to go to Canada for this one.
All right.
A guy named Tarwinder Sokar. A little upset at the Caesar Windsor Casino in Ontario.
Okay.
He evidently managed to lose $260,000 gambling over 2 days.
Tarwinder.
Over 2 days.
2 days.
Tarwinder.
Oh,
What are you doing, buddy?
And it's now suing the casino because they should have known that he had a gambling problem.
That's right. It's the casino's fault.
Evidently, he was overserved alcohol and encouraged to keep gambling. He wants his damages back and then an additional $500,000.
what? Come on now.
Wow, Tarwinder, that is bold.
That is
Bold.
so bold. Don't you think that it could be advantageous for the casino to give him all of that money? Because 2 days later, they'd get it all back and probably then some.
It's
good
coming right back.
That's a good point.
So for Tarwinder and everyone that may have a gambling
man.
problem, we genuinely, from the depths
Yes,
of our
yes.
heart, say,
Lord, have mercy.
What do you do if you get the flu on vacation?
Oh, gosh, that stinks.
I can't think of anything like that. That sentence right there just makes me sad.
Oh,
And I actually lived it.
no.
It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And actually, I didn't live it. My wife had to.
You lived around it.
I did live around it
Oh.
with a mask. Clorox wipes all over my body. No, I didn't go that extreme.
Sliding food under the door.
Yeah. Let us know how you're doing, honey.
They're in quarantine.
We just got back. We had a great vacation. We went to Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Wanted to kind of educate our kids, show them the world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to L.A. One of the greatest fears I think I have, and I know my wife has, is that you plan for months for a trip. And what if like one of the kids gets sick?
Yep.
We've done this before. We went to Florida a couple years ago. Supposed to go to Disney World. Our youngest son, Knox, throwing up all over the place. We figured out, I think we're allergic to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Tried to go to Disney World, sick kid. Tried to go to Disneyland, sick mom. And I don't know how your life operates, Ryan, but in the Early Wine house, Mama Early Wine, Julie is the sun. All things planning, structured, orbit around my wife.
Yeah, the mom is the glue that keeps everything else together.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So when Mama goes down, it's like
tough.
code red,
Yes.
code red.
Yes.
How is this going to function?
Crap, how are you guys going to eat now? Oh, God.
We're gonna die in LA. She just has the flu, right?
Right.
But anyway, it really sucked. We get there, all this planning. We show up and one of our other kids had a flu over the Christmas holidays, and so she finally got it. And so we had to just kind of, take our plans and change them.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up being a great trip, but I just wonder, if, for you, is you may have a trip, maybe it's a vacation, but you just may have some plans for 2020. We got a new year on our hands here, guys, blank slate. And you may right now be thinking, I've got some big plans in my life, but what if they go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. You can't really control necessarily what happens around you. A lot of times life just happens to you, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And I think the encouraging thing, guys, is, and I want you to get your thoughts on this, is I love there's a scripture, actually in the book of Proverbs, that says this. I love it. It says that within your heart you can make plans for your future, but the Lord chooses the steps you take to get there. And I think there's a couple ways to view that, right? Like that's saying, like, listen, you got some plans. I'm sure you got plans. We had plans for vacation, but God had some different plans. And I think the tough part about that is if you don't really trust God's heart, that can make you really mad when plans don't go the way that your plan is supposed to go.
Yeah. Well, I just heard Stephen Furtick had a sermon, and he said that lots of us trust God, like we're going ahead, we trust our salvation and all of this stuff. Like we can trust that God's good even, but when he's like 4 seconds late on his timing, or whatever, then we're like, I don't trust you at all, and you're mad.
I think you're right, Lisa. And here's the thing: is what I guess we got to get our minds around is do we really actually trust God when the timing is off or the plan isn't exactly the way we want it to work out? And I want to dig into this because it actually shaped a lot of our vacation, and I think it possibly could shape a lot of your year. And it's actually a quote from one of my favorite pastors. I got a chance to hear him preach out in L.A., Erwin McManus, who he said this. He said, "You can't plan for the life God has for you. You can only prepare for it." And I wonder, what does it look like for you to prepare for the life God has for you in 2020? I think it's going to have to do about trust. I think it's probably going to have to do with some character development, which is never fun at all.
No.
But let's take a look at it, because here's what I know. I know that God has created you on purpose and for a purpose. I know he has a plan for your year. Here's the question. Are you going to be prepared for it? We say it every week here on Radio Theology that God is for you, not against you, that he's near you, not far away from you, and that he's created you on purpose and for a purpose. Here is my question for us this morning. Is how do you prepare for the purpose that God has for you this year, this decade, and the rest of your life? It's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And guys, just came out this vacation, didn't go the way we planned. It was supposed to be great. Every day was different, blah, blah, blah. My wife gets the flu. Everything goes haywire and changes. Mm-hmm. But as we walked away from the trip, talking to my 3 sons about it, we had this kind of reflected on it, that it was kind of cool that it didn't go as we planned, but we didn't go on vacation to execute a plan.
Yeah. We
went on vacation to enjoy each other. And even though we had some sickness and we had the plan changed, it didn't change what we were really there for, which was to have time, together, which was a cool takeaway. But I wonder for your year coming up is, how do you prepare for what God might have? Your plan, God's plan for your life this year, it might not go the way you think it is. It may have to do with sickness, might have a new job. It might be a different relationship, might be who knows? But how do we prepare for the changes that might come? Because we can't really control the plan. What do you guys think about that?
As you're talking, I'm reminded of something I've heard since childhood. 2 things. One from my grandfather that said, proper planning prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
5 Ps.
I like it.
And then the other one was my dad, both military guys.
Yeah.
So there's kind of some metaphor in here. And this, my dad was a Navy guy, and he said, pray to heaven, but row to shore. So trust that God is in control of all things, including you. However, you've got a decision to make, and that's to act, to move, to sometimes be still. I know, Lisa, you said earlier in today's show that you're focused on maintaining some calm and kind of coasting in health, because last year was kind of a dumpster fire at times
Got
for
a
you.
little wild.
Yeah, but in those seasons to know there is an ebb and a flow to life, and so God's got all this, and He is good, and you can trust Him. But having your best plans in place for the year can be a very good start for 2020.
Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. So what does it look like to prepare for that? How do we prepare to trust God when we know that things might go haywire?
I think part of it is pulling back and remembering how He has been faithful and good.
So looking back.
Yeah, I think
like
reflection is very healthy to help you. You know, you got to have a rear view mirror and a windshield.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look back to look forward sometimes. And that makes no sense. That sounds like a Ricky Bobby quote. If you're not first, you're last. But no, I think knowing where you've come from and knowing how God has brought you through that is going to help you to remember. Because I don't know about you, but I'm really bad at remembering certain things of how things go, even if it was just yesterday.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt. You think about the Old Testament. So many times when God shows up to talk to the Israelite people, He says, hey, guys, remember, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Mm-hmm. He's not just dropping names. What He's saying is, hey, I've been faithful for generation after generation after generation. So now the plan is going to change a little bit. But I want you to know, remember, look back. I've been with you since the beginning. So you can trust me in this right now. I like it. Look back is good. Lisa, you got one?
I think I just am focusing more internally on character development and healthy patterns in preparation. So planning feels very outside of myself, and preparation feels inside of myself. And one thing I've been trying to do is to get up in the morning and just be still and listen and drink coffee. And so set that good habit for the year, because when I do it, I am so much more at peace all day. Yeah. And when I don't do it, I'm a psycho. So
prepping. You're prepping for the day, setting yourself up for success.
Prepping. Right. And then if you daily prep, that turns into a habit, that turns into a lifestyle change, which will change my life.
Yeah, I like it. Looking back, being ready. I think for me for this year, one of the things I'm prepping for is just I need more time of just listening and learning to trust God more for who He is, just knowing who He is. I'm like, hey, if I'm going to trust that you're going to lead me into this, I need to continue to get to know who you are, whether that's looking back, whether that's being still in the moment, because I need to know that I can trust where you're taking me because I can trust who you are. And I thought that helps you. If it does, we'd love to hear from you. If it doesn't, we'd love to hear from you. At radiotheology.com, reach out to us this morning, and we're going to release a behind-the-mic episode like we do every single week where we talk a little deeper about these issues. And if you might need something like that, you can subscribe to the Radio Theology podcast wherever you get your podcast. Do you have a word of the year for 2020, and do you even need one? It's a pressing question. We're about to answer it right here on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. If you haven't followed us over on social media, please do so. We'd love to be with you every Sunday morning, but we release highlights of the show every single day, and we'd love for you to check that out. Just head over to radiotheology.com to do so. Guys, the word of the year. Got a lot of friends that do this.
Yeah.
My wife does it. She usually gets the giving keys. Have you heard of these things?
Yeah.
She loves the giving keys. They take an old key and they stamp your a word that's meaningful to you. And I've watched my wife do it for 3 or 4 years now, and it's crazy how appropriate the word becomes as it shapes her experience in her year. So this year, I was like, dang it, I haven't had a word for a while.
Yep.
I'm going to get a word.
Get yourself a word.
How did you get a word?
Well, first and foremost, I asked God. I said, God, I'd like a word. Because here's the one thing I believe. I believe that God is alive. Okay. And I believe that God speaks and guides in direction. I think that God actually wants to communicate to you every day in everyday type of ways.
Okay.
So I just started paying attention to things that hit me with a little bit of weightiness, kind of made me pay attention to them. And so I was actually watching on Instagram, there was a post by Charlemagne. He's a radio host in New York City.
Yep.
And he had this post where he was talking to Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Oh, yeah.
About feeling worthy of God's love and the life that God gave them. And it really, really hit me hard right after I just prayed for God to give me a word.
Okay.
So I think my word for the year of 2020
Charlemagne?
Is Charlemagne.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Guess it. Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music.
Unique.
Here's my word for the year, and I don't like it.
All right.
Is worthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because
Why don't you like it?
It just seems weird and lame. I don't even really know what it means.
You know that's so funny? Because when you told me your word of the year,
Yeah.
this week I got word envy. I'm like, that's so much better of a word. Dang it. Because I got a word and my word sucks.
What's your word?
My word is listen.
I like it.
Do you want to trade?
No, I'll keep worthy.
You can't trade words.
You can't trade
Oh,
words.
dang
you
it.
can't. You
No,
can't.
I don't want to really trade because I do believe God gave me that word and we can share that whole story in our Behind the Mic podcast, wherever you get your podcast. But yeah, I had word envy. But the listening, I'm like, I'm on the radio and I'm a speaker and I'm a storyteller. I don't want to listen. That sounds so lame. How boring. What am I going to do this year? Just sit around and go, okay.
So
Anybody want to talk to me?
why do we think that the word is lame? Like it's what we feel like God is saying to us. I think it's because that journey of me understanding what God wants to say.
Yeah.
So scary.
I'm uncomfortable with what the
my
journey is
gosh.
going to be.
I am so freaked out. I can't even process how, if God told me my word is listen, then what in the HE double hockey sticks is he going to tell me this year?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, oh my gosh. And then what if I miss it? And then what if I listen too much and I listen to the wrong?
Ryan, what's your word?
I don't have a word.
What?
I don't have a word.
Have you ever done a word thing?
No, and this, I gotta be real right now. This kind of sounds a little like
Is it too Christian for you?
It's too Christian for me.
You have a whole
It's
daily
too Christian for
planner
me.
of what you're trying to structure and guide and
Yeah.
direct your whole life around.
Yeah.
But you think God imparting a word to focus your year is
I don't
a bad
know. I
focus
feel
point?
like it's a little fatty to me. Faddy. It's a little. It's kind of like the Enneagram. Like I'm into
the Enneagram's the worst. I hate understanding myself so much better.
I don't know. I just I don't recall ever hearing about people getting like single words and putting them on a key like 10 years ago. I feel like this is kind of like a little fatty.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't done it recently, because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I just keep seeing it really work in amazing ways for people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I could probably use a little bit of that.
That's cool. I'm not going to dog anyone for having a word.
We're
To
going to
me,
dog
it
you
just-
for not having one.
I'm going to get you a key. You know what's going to say on it, Ryan?
What?
Doubter.
Go for it. Let's see if it works.
Oh.
It's the thought of the day with Pastor Daron.
Have you ever gotten sick on vacation? It is the worst. I mean, you plan for weeks, maybe even months for these days of vacation, of relaxation, and then you get sick. Well, it just happened to my wife last week on our vacation to Los Angeles. We'd planned for months and months and months to take our boys out west, and after months of planning and structure and getting ready to have all this amazing trip, we land in LA and my wife gets the flu. Now listen, if you got a cold, maybe a sinus infection, that's one thing. But when you get the flu, that's an entirely different deal. I mean, immediately our plan is ruined. But here's the good news. We didn't go on vacation to just execute that plan. We went on vacation to experience each other, our relationships, to make memories together as a family, to have fun. And you know what? That's what we did. We rolled with the punches, we made new plans, and we still had a blast. In fact, at the close of our trip, we actually went to church. And I know that may sound a little lame, but hey, I'm a pastor, so lay off. Right? Our last night in LA, we go to one of my favorite churches in America to hear my favorite pastor speak. And after this whole week of our plans getting jacked up, he hits us with this quote. Erwin McManus, my favorite pastor, he says this: "You can't plan for the life God has for you. You can only prepare for it." And that's exactly what we had just experienced. The cool thing was the lunch the next morning, we sat around with my boys, and they all brought up that quote, that it really stuck with them. Because we had just had a plan get completely jacked up by the flu. But the cool part was that we had prepared before we even got there to still have a great time. And by prepare, I mean we've been taking care of our relationships, of the way we care for each other and love each other. So when the plan didn't work out, we still had each other and we still had a blast. So looking into 2020, it's a new year, it's a new decade, and I'm guessing you have some plans for this year. The way you want it to go, the way that you want your career to develop. You probably have some relationship plans. You probably have some vacation plans. And my guess is this, is that this year's plans won't match up perfectly with the way you think they should. Well, the scriptures say it like this, that within your heart you can make plans for your future, but the Lord chooses the steps you take to get there. And like we say every week here on Radio Theology, God has created you on purpose and for a purpose. God has a plan for your life. But the question I want you to think about today is, how are you preparing yourself every day for that plan? What are you going to do this year that's different from last year to prepare yourself relationally for this plan? What are you going to do differently this year than you did last year to prepare yourself physically for this plan, or spiritually, or emotionally? How are you preparing who you are becoming this year so that you're ready for whatever plan God has for you? It's a really big question, and I really think it could help you if you took some time to think about it. You can't plan the life God has for you, but you can prepare for it. That's the good news this morning. And we'd love to hear from you about what your plans are or how you're preparing for 2020. Just hit us up this morning on radiotheology.com. We'd love to be a part of that conversation with you. And I'm Pastor Daron Earlywine, and that's been your Radio Theology Thought of the Day.